Hi, this is Tim Lightfellow in the Kingdom of Ontir in the Society for Creative Anachronism. Today I'm doing a video about TopHat tools and TopHat screw-on tips. For those who aren't familiar, TopHat is a specific brand of screw-on tips and tools. They offer stainless steel field tips. They offer brass field tips. They offer brass bullet tips for 5/16. I haven't found those for 11/32 yet. I understand they either do or at one point offered a modified bodkin screw-on. So there's a few options you can get. They also have pieces that are a field tip like this, only they're longer. And they're designed specifically for if you break your shaft right behind the tip, there's enough material to give you the same length approximately that it was, and to account for the approximately the amount of weight of wood you lost, so that you have a replacement that can keep your arrow or bolt functioning similar to the rest of yours. Okay, so some of the tools. First one is that you have a compression tool. This is for compressing the shaft for the uh, tip to screw on. It basically, you compress it down, you thread it, you put the tip on. As it expands, it helps lock the tip in place. These are designed with the back end to go into a drill driver. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And then they're designed with, it comes with 3 different pieces. One of the things that I wish they would have done is to mark them for the diameter. I haven't found a mark on these, so I literally had to kind of go through and figure out which one was the largest, medium, small for 5/16, 11/32, and 23/64. So you pick the one you need, you screw it on, and then I always pick a lower setting. I don't want this going screaming fast or anything. And the idea is that you hold the shaft and you push this in to get it to compress the tip. What I like to use, because that I don't have the strongest of hands, and that a few shafts in starts to burn from the pressure, is I buy some of this grip. It's like an anti-slip shelving cover, or can go on the bottom of placemats, that kind of thing. Amazon has them. I think we found some at the local fabric and craft shop. So I'll grab it like this, and I'm going to close the mic. Well, actually, I'll leave it on. We'll deal with the noise. So literally, the first step is to compress the tip. Like so. And if you, I don't know if the camera will show, but there's a hard stop in there, so you can only press the tip in so far. That prevents you from from extending the compression further than you need to. Because again, part of the reason I use them, if you look at this, is there's very little lip between the two when it goes on right. Okay, the next step is the threading tool. Unfortunately, they sell you each size separately. So if you only ever use one size, that's great. If you use more than one size, that's more money in tools. So I have 5/16 and 11/32. And I have the TopHat tool here that is designed to slide that in, lock it down, and then push it on and thread it. Now, one thing that I've found that takes a little bit of practice, and again, if I ever need grip, I just grab that. You don't want to do this too much. So some of the shafts, honestly, you can buy 11-30 seconds. By the time you've prepped them, buffed them, or sanded them, they can have some variation in their diameter. So sometimes I'll notice that the threading tool is, really easy to turn. It's barely biting into the wood because the diameter is a little smaller. And when that happens, it's really easy to overturn it and then strip out your threading. So you want to be very careful. And again, it kind of takes learning the feel for that to avoid stripping it out. So right now it's at the end. So now I'm going to slowly turn it back. And once you get towards the end, it'll come off. And what you have now, if the camera will focus on it, is a threaded end. The next step is that I always start these by hand, just again, because I don't want to cross thread or do something. Now, TopHat sells these pliers and that tool. And what I've found is I almost never use these. About the only time I've used these is when it's all I could find and I needed to remove a tip off of a broken shaft. So yes, I could right now use this instead for tightening. But if budget's a little limited, because again, I regret buying that. It was kind of a waste of money, as I've discovered. You can just, same thing you did with this. I mean, it's got this plastic inside, so it doesn't chew into the tip and leave marks. So I'll just do this and tighten it on. But again, if you bought the pliers and want to use them for this, they are absolutely fine for this. They are also toothless. They are metal. If you're looking for other possible alternatives, I haven't tried them, but we did some quick research because I thought, a lot of jewelers' tools are toothless. And interestingly, what I found is there are some guitar string pliers that appear to have just really small teeth, but they're also vinyl or something. So I don't know that they would leave any kind of indentations or marks. So they might work. And I think they were in the $15 to $17 range. I don't recall exactly, but I seem to recall this being more than that. Trying to give you a couple alternatives where I can try and save some money. So that is the process. We now have, if this were an actual arrow, this is actually one of my cresting pattern sticks. I would now have it tipped. To take it off, I would do the same thing. I would either hook this on or use these and grab it and slowly turn it the other way. And about now it should be loose, and there we go. And now it's reusable. I've used it on a bunch of my bolts. This is actually one that I just took off of one of my bolts that I Robin Hooded. So one of the benefits of screw-on is you can ruin the bolt, but as long as you retrieve it, you can reuse the tips. I've actually, to be honest, I hit someone's arrow tip with one of these, and they had the standard glue-on steel field points, and this literally peeled their tip open, and there was no visible damage to this. So I've definitely enjoyed and appreciated using these and have not had any break. I hope this helps, gives you some insight into TopHat tools and that. Some, hopefully at least one or two spots where maybe you can cut a little bit of cost or try and save you a little bit from the expenses, because TopHat tools aren't super cheap. Thank you for watching and have a good day.